Prime was supposed to be the biggest brand in the world, making Logan Paul and KSI the kings of YouTube. But now it's facing total collapse. This brand was built on pure hype. It was everywhere. For a minute, it looked like nothing could stop that. But that billion-dollar empire is now imploding. Reports are coming in that the UK revenue has crashed by 70%, and profits have disappeared by over 90%. In the US, sales have dropped by more than 40%, and the hype is completely gone, and all that's left are lawsuits, health scares, and literal mountains of unsold drinks. Just a little while ago, the entire world was obsessed with Prime. You saw the videos, parents waiting in line for hours, stores completely sold out in minutes, and kids acting like these bottles were solid gold. People were selling bottles online for hundreds of dollars. In its first year, Prime made $250 million, and in 2003, that exploded to an insane $1.2 billion. It wasn't just a drink, it was a status symbol made by two of the biggest influencers on Earth. But today, those crazy lines are gone. The shelves that were once empty now overflowing with dusty, unwanted bottles. Stores are selling them for less than $1. Can you believe that? A drink that people almost paid a fortune for is now in the clearance bin. There are even pictures of expired Prime bottles being thrown away at a dump site. A giant graveyard for a brand that didn't see its own end coming. So how does one of the most hyped brands ever become a total failure? Did the fad just die out, or did Logan Paul and KSI literally destroy their own company? Stick around because we're going to expose every mistake that led to Prime's insane collapse. To understand how big this collapse is, you have to see how big the brand got. When Prime launched in 2022, it was the perfect storm. You had Logan Paul and KSI, two YouTubers who used to be boxing rivals, team up to start a business. Their combined audience was over 40 million people who were totally obsessed with their story. This wasn't just a drinks launch, it was the next episode in their saga. Their marketing strategy was genius. They didn't sell Prime as a drink, they sold it as an exclusive prize. They did this with one simple trick: calculated scarcity. They would do these limited drops that sold out in seconds, which made everyone have insane FOMO. It was the perfect move. By making it impossible to get, they made everyone want it even more. This wasn't about the drink anymore, it was about showing off. If you could post a picture with a bottle of Prime, you were cool. It was basically the supreme of drinks. The bottle itself was a trophy. The hype got so big it went mainstream. Prime started sponsoring huge names in sports like Arsenal FC, the UFC, and even the WWE. These deals made Prime look like it could actually compete with giants like Gatorade. And for a second it did. At its peak in 2023, Prime had 41.2% of the sports drink market at Walmart, even beating Gatorade. That looked like they had won. The only problem was this whole thing was built on a lie. So here's the crazy truth. Prime's empire was built on something that could break at any second. The problems started showing up almost immediately, and there were three big ones: the product, the health scares, and Logan Paul himself. Let's break it down. Number one, the product. Once people actually got to drink it, they realized it really just wasn't that good. The internet was flooded with reviews saying it was way too sweet and tasted artificial. The hype got people to buy it once, but the taste didn't really bring them back. This was a huge problem. You could have the best marketing in the world, but if your product is bad, people will not buy it again. Number two, terrible marketing mistake. Prime sold two different drinks, Prime Hydration and Prime Energy, but they made them look almost identical. The branding and the flavors were basically the same, which confused everyone, especially kids and their parents who were buying it. But the thing is, Prime Energy has 200 milligrams of caffeine in one can. That's double a can of Red Bull and the same as 6 cans of Coke. The can says it's not for kids, but the entire brand was marketed to kids. This led to a massive backlash. Schools started banning it, and US Senator Charles Schumer even called for an investigation into its dangerous caffeine levels. Canada recalled it, and other countries restricted it completely. Prime went from being a cool status symbol to a major health risk. Number three, the founder. While all this was happening, Logan Paul was dealing with his own scandal, CryptoZoo. People who invested in his NFT game were accusing him of a rug pull and losing millions of dollars. If people couldn't trust Logan with their money, how could they trust him with the drink they give to their kids? The fallout from all of these problems wasn't just bad PR, it was a complete financial disaster. And the numbers are insane. In the UK, it was a total wipeout. Financial records show that their sales crashed by over 70% in 2024, dropping from £112 million to just £32.8 million. The profits were even worse, collapsing by an unbelievable 91.6%. The company had to admit that the party was officially over. The US is just as bad. Year over year, sales were down 42% by early 2025. Fewer new people were buying it, and almost no one was buying it a second time. Google searches for Prime, which tells you just how much people care, fell by more than half from its peak. This explosion sent shockwaves everywhere. The company that used to create fake shortages was now drowning in its own unsold drinks. And this led to giant lawsuits. A bottling partner sued them for $68 million because Prime couldn't sell the drinks it promised to buy. Even though that lawsuit was eventually dismissed, it showed how chaotic everything was behind the scenes. Then came even more lawsuits, but this time from customers. One claimed that Prime Energy had even more caffeine than it advertised. Another lawsuit claimed that they found forever chemicals in the grape flavor. All of this together, the numbers and the lawsuits, shows a business in a complete freefall. Sales didn't just go down, they vanished. Prime's financial collapse happened because culture changed. The same young audience that made the brand famous is known for moving on to the next trend super fast. Riding a trend with them is like riding a tsunami. It's an amazing ride, but the wave always crashes. Once the Prime moment was over, the drink was old news. At the same time, parents went from desperately trying to find the drink to actively banning it, all because of the news about insane caffeine levels and health risks. Ultimately, the fall of Prime is a massive warning for every creator out there. It proves that you cannot build a real business on hype alone. Logan Paul and KSI showed that fame can create insane demand, but they forgot to build a good business behind it. They were masters of viral marketing, but they ignored the basics: a good product and customer trust. The strategy of making the drink hard to find totally backfired. Once it was available everywhere, the magic was just gone. It wasn't a rare prize anymore, it was just another super sweet drink on the shelf. Without the hype, the brand had nothing special left. The story of Prime is insane, but I want to know what you think was the single biggest reason it collapsed. Was it the health concerns? Was it Logan Paul's scandals? Or was it just a bad tasting drink that was always going to fail? Let me know what you think in the comments below. In the end, Prime's collapse was always going to happen, but they also did it to themselves. It was always going to happen because a brand built on a social media trend can't last forever. But they made it so much worse. The decision to market a drink with that much caffeine to kids, confusing the two products, and failing to make a drink people actually liked were all massive mistakes. Logan Paul and KSI literally captured lightning in a bottle and made over $1 billion, but they didn't realize that hype is not a business model. It's just a way to get started. The legacy of Prime won't be as a revolutionary drink, but as the ultimate lesson for the creator age. You can't fake your way to lasting success. Hype gets your attention, but only strategy gets you to the finish line. I'm Rob, and if this video primed your strategic brain, hit like and make sure you subscribe for more brand breakdowns just like this.
For more trending brand news, subscribe to our channel and visit designrush.com.